Following is a public service message from Pathological.
Talking to you as I sit out here at the school campus waiting for one of my contractors to come through. And I mean, we're paying big money. I mean, plumbing estimates, $100,000, HVAC estimates, over $250,000. And you're talking 3 weeks worth of work. So when you look at the money that plumbers and electricians and HVACers and roofers are making, they're making in 3 weeks what surgeons are making in an entire year. So we have to turn our kids back on. Looks like, and again, we have two schools, so we're focusing on the Garvey building right now. We haven't even began to address the Frederick Douglass High School, which is about 3 times as big. Okay. And I'm absolutely in love with that school because once that gets renovated, we'll be the largest Black independent school campus in the United States. No other independent Black school has 2 schools and 2 gyms. We're going to have food. We're going to have games, water rides for the children. There's going to be popcorn, pictures, music. It's just going to be a good day to honor as far. So I received a lot of donation checks from the state of Texas, not just Houston, but Dallas, San Antonio, Austin, Longview, all around Texas. They've really showed up and helped Dr. Umar over these past 7 years. So I'm hoping that a lot of our Texas
ancestors on Nile Valley soil were builders. And so I need to be a builder like the great Rameses, brothers and sisters. So we ordering the HVAC unit next week. It'll be done by August, and we're going to get it put in as soon as possible. The plumbing is about to get started, brothers and sisters. We are moving along slowly. We are not at a standstill. The wheels on the Garvey train.
About 20 months ago, you end up purchasing 2 buildings, yes?
4 buildings.
4 buildings, okay. For about
2 schools, 4 buildings.
2 schools, 4 buildings for $400,000.
It was more than that.
Okay. Well,
I'm gonna break it into 4 steps. Step number 1 was a Black history class that I had in elementary school in North Philadelphia. 4th and 5th grade, elementary school. The teacher was Mrs. Green, who I coincidentally ran into a few years ago for the first time since 5th grade. But she lit a spark in me. I believe I was
transparent with my donors. I'm transparent.
Now I'm being told that there, you know, people say when your actual donors will ask certain things, they said you will sometimes block them and all this type of stuff.
That is not true. Those are not donors. Those are haters. My donors have direct access to me. I talk to them. I know who they are. Most of them are repeat donors. My donors range everywhere from Black professionals. I have lawyers, I have engineers, I have business owners, all the way down to the retired great-grandmom who's sending me $10 a month because she want to see this plan come to fruition.
Within about 24 hours, I was like a household name. It came so fast, I almost got swept up in the Umar mix because I was the new kid on the block. You know, nobody knew me.
Moving along slowly. We are not at a standstill. The wheels on the Garvey train are moving.
Spring of 2014.
Okay.
And St. Paul's was sold about 2 or 3 years later to the Chinese. And that is an insult to our ancestors. We let the Chinese buy an HBC.
Is you got to have the peaks with the valleys and the valleys with the peaks. Anything that happened these 10 years, it's been a lot of love. Of course, with success comes jealousy and envy, you know, so I do have a little entourage of trolls who try to sabotage the work, but we were really blessed, brother. In February of last year, 2019, we purchased the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, or the school that is now the Frederick Douglass
King Kong, first day, revolutionary, Pan-African 21-day fast. Shout out to all the brothers and sisters who fasting with me. Sunrise to sunset, 21 days. This is day 1. Discipline, clarity, victory, strength, oneness. Third eye fast group. Let's get focused. 21 days. Let's do this. 21 days. Let's do this. Let's purge and let's empower.
2 schools, 2 gyms. And we're trying to get the Garvey building done. The electricians are working as we speak. I'm waiting on one of these HVAC contractors to give me a good proposal that I can live with financially. Our goal now, my brother, is to have the Marcus Garvey side of the street which is 3 buildings. On the Marcus Garvey side of the street is the Nat Turner Gymnasium, the Marcus Garvey Elementary School. Then we have a third 3-room building that I don't know what I'm going to do with yet.
Where's the extra money? Where'd the extra money go? And why is it taking so long to open this school? Like people feel like, and I'm not just going to say people found, because I'm also going to share a story with you as well.
Yes, sir. The HVAC, brothers and sisters. I'm ordering the HVAC machine next week. The good news is we finally got the HVACer. I'm ordering the HVAC unit for the school next week. The bad news, it takes 90 days for them to manufacture the custom-made HVAC unit for the for the Marcus Garvey Elementary School where I am sitting. It will take 90 days
foundation as far as your education, because that is something that people need to understand, that you're just not a regular dude talking based on your education and your experience.
Honestly, and I say this in all humility, for the past 10 years, I've probably been the #1 Black scholar in the world. I've definitely been the most requested Black scholar in the world. There's no other scholar, mainstream or conscious, who has received the type of love and the amount of invitations to speak all over the world.
Yes, sir. Well, I have 6 degrees plus 3 professional certifications, one of which I voluntarily remitted. So I have a bachelor's in psychology, a bachelor's in political science, a master's in school psychology, a master's in clinical psychology, a master's in educational leadership,
and asking that because although I'm certain I stated my credentials on 1, I may have stated it on 2. It is possible I stated on 3. It's possible it could have been stated on all 3, but certainly the first one. So I wanted to make sure you had all 3. So do I need to give you 1 and 2, but this is only 3?
It sounds like only 1 because Akama was going to introduce the other interview.
2 and 3.
I'm happy because we were only looking to get 1 school, brother and sister. We ended up with 2. And to all those coons and trolls who say the buildings are trash, do you realize the 4 buildings we got are state-of-the-art modern schools? They are not old schools like the ones we went to. They are modern. That campus was renovated at a cost of 13
donations, $FDMG school.
Dishonorable people will never let the truth get in the way of a good lie. So when people ask, does the school exist? Well, we're sitting here.
I don't care how long it takes. I promise you one thing. I don't care how long it takes. I promise you one thing. This school will be up and running before you build anything for our people. I promise you one
donors. My donors range everywhere from Black professionals. I have lawyers, I have engineers, I have business owners, all the way down to the retired great-grandmom who's sending me $10 a month because she want to see this plan come to fruition.
Abuse and attacks against this noble institution and corporation. Brothers and sisters, I will be out here on December the 2nd and December the 4th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. I repeat, we will be here at the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy on December the 2nd and December the 4th. Mark your calendar.
And the people that he gained, it's like he will lose them because his true colors will come out if they're not donors. But he thinks he's actually Black Panther.
Who say the buildings are trash? Do you realize the 4 buildings we got are state-of-the-art modern
FDMG, brothers and sisters. Let's talk about the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. Where did this come from? How did it all begin? What led to probably one of the greatest episodes of embarrassing it to you straight? So, as you all know, I am a certified school principal. Not Hotep, certified. Credential documents. You are listening to the Prince of Pan-Africanism somewhere within the ghettos of North Central Philadelphia.
The Umar FDMG, we out here with the family, showing solidarity. It's about the children, y'all. Keep everything focused on the children. School for Black boys, no more special ed, no more ADHD, no more discipline school, no more misdiagnosis, no more conduct disorder, no more mental retardation. I looked at it and said, he's already on top. He's already on top just with his speaking and saving the children. If he get this school open, You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it.
Legend, because he already runs the conscious thing. There's no name above mine. No name above mine. And I say that in humility, but it's the truth. So if he get this school open, how that's gonna make the rest of us look who don't do nothing but
It will take 90 days for them to manufacture the HVAC unit for this elementary school. The garbage.
Let me give an update on the FDMG HVAC. With that being said, let me give an update on the FDMG HVAC.
Construction project. Chinese are financing 1 in 5 infrastructure projects in Africa, and they are building.
Let me also say this. The other question that you asked, which is often asked, is 6 years he don't have the school yet. I'm not to blame for that. The community is to blame for that. I cannot manifest the school out of thin air. Schools cost money. They're not houses. They're commercial property. But because we're not used to building things exclusively with black dollars, we don't understand how long.
The school will not be ready in time for the festival, because in order to get approved, you got to have all systems renovated. In order to get approved, you got to have all systems renovated. So if it takes 90 days for them to manufacture the custom-made, I would have ordered it 2 years ago when we bought the school. If I knew it would take 90 days to have a unit, I would have ordered it 2 years ago when we bought the school, but I didn't know, brothers and sisters.
A Jean-Jacques Dessalines Nat Turner Gymnasium HVAC update. And I want to give you an Honorable Marcus Garvey Elementary School HVAC update. I want to give you a Jean-Jacques Dessalines Nat Turner Small Gymnasium.
I'm learning this. I am a scholar, psychologist, academic, political scientist, Pan-Africanist. I am not a builder, but I'm learning to be a builder, because our ancestors on Nile Valley soil were builders.
Property. But because we're not used to building things exclusively with black dollars, we don't understand how long it takes to get that done. I'm not a charter school. I'm not a public school. My school isn't going to subsist on white handouts and government funding. My school is grassroots Pan-African Academy. So it'll take as long as it takes until we raise the money to achieve the goal. It is that simple.
Every book signing is a special education drop-in clinic. Every book signing is a drop-in clinic, an education, regular education, special education, mental health drop-in clinic. Every Dr. Umar.
Yes, sir. And I will repeat again to clarify that a certified school psychologist can do private work doing the same things they do in the school, outside of the school if they're employed by a
donations at, brothers and sisters. Come on now. Come on. The roofer said the roof gonna cost some couple bucks, you know what I mean? Electric gonna cost a couple bucks, plumbing a couple bucks, HVAC couple bucks, plus we got to handle this tax bill at the same time. You feel me? So let's get it done. Cash.me/$FDMG
Hit the Cash App, $FDMG School with your donations. Thank you for my donors. I got good news and bad news for both HVAC systems. I have good news and bad news for both HVAC systems. When I resigned from the School District of Philadelphia to become a school administrator, in my capacity as a school administrator, this is back around 2005. So we're talking about 11 years ago now.
And I remember the first time I was contacted by an investigator from the Bureau. I met with him at King of Prussia, 2014. If the state felt that I was practicing psychology without a license, why did they wait all those 4 years to say something?
If you're going to tell the truth, then tell the truth.
Oh yeah, they're giving out land. They're giving out land. I got 50 acres waiting for me right now.
Okay.
That we're gonna be building Black Wall Street, West Africa. Did you hear that? Black Wall Street, West.
In the presence of my ancestors, in the presence of the Creator, in the presence of the divinities, Dr. Umar Johnson has never used drugs a day in my life.
I had one blunt with my Rasta brothers in Jamaica. I had one blunt with my Rasta brothers in Jamaica. I had one blunt
The
with
Last
my
Dragon. Repeat, the block party is going
experience.
down.
It did nothing for me. We was trying to turn into Marcus Garvey, but it didn't work. I give tobacco, smoke, gin, and rum to my shrines from time to time, but I have never used.
We only raised 160, but most of my donations have been mail-in checks and money orders. People don't trust the internet. So, but we raised $500,000 in a year.
That's great.
But the problem with that, if we only raising $500,000 a year, and the school costs $2 million.
You got about 4 years.
Thank you. That school ain't gonna be
Somebody
running
can
for
buy
me.
that, yeah.
So I need a check. I need a check. I need Jay-Z. I need that check. Puff, I know you listening, Puff.
Oh, yeah.
All my
That's
rappers
on the
out
Vote
there.
TV right now.
I need that check. It's gonna be and we tax exempt, so they can write it off on their taxes. Help me get this school.
My first donation for the FDMG was taken in St. Louis spring of 2014.
Shout out to St. Louis.
Y'all be seeing stuff saying he been raising money for 10 years. That's a damn lie. The first donation was spring of 14.
Anything that happened in these 10 years, it's been a lot of love. We purchased the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, or the school that is now the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, Wilmington, Delaware. We got 4 buildings, 2 schools, 2 gyms, and we're trying to get the Garvey building done. The electricians are working as we speak. I'm waiting on one of these HVAC contractors to give me a good proposal that I can.
Board of Directors for FDMG Academy Incorporated. The Board of Directors for FDMG Academy Incorporated decided collectively we have to move on. So I informed said HVAC contractor that we will no longer be employing his services because after 10 weeks of waiting, we have had enough. I have now retained the services of another HVAC contractor, and I am awaiting the proposal for the cost of what it will cost to remove the vandalized unit and put up the new unit. We will entertain other offers. If the price is right, we look to have the HVAC up on the roof by the end of Black History Month, but I don't control that. We can only do what we can do based on the integrity of the contractors we find who are licensed in the state of Delaware and licensed in the city of Wilmington. So the bad news.
And now you're feeding false narratives and slander campaigns against me. It will not be tolerated. See, now you become a hypocrite.
We waited for 3.5 months with a brand new $50,000 unit sitting in storage somewhere in Delaware. Good price, and we can finally get the HVAC on the school. So that's the update for the Marcus Garvey Elementary School. There will be no proof because I have nothing to prove to any of you at all. And I'm willing to bet that those who are asking for proof haven't donated a single dollar. So your opinion does not matter.
Pathological Liars Anonymous. We care, and that's the truth.